Welcome back to Ismail Baby. How y'all doing out there? Y'all good? Y'all weather good? Y'all having fun? Nah, I don't know if I'm gonna give this video to you today, but you'll get it soon. I'm uh I'm trying to do a review later on, so we gonna see. So let me say my grace, cause I'm about to eat, and I'm gonna chat with y'all. God, God, pray, thanks for me, about to see, for sure, me, just prayer to me. Okay. Uh, I have had a beautifully blessed day. I uh, I was happy. Now I ain't gonna lie. We did a live on Friday, which was last night, and I went on ahead. I ain't staying it too long because I knew I had to be up for 7:30 in the morning. I set my alarm for 7:45, but someone decided to wake me up at 7:30 to tell me something I already knew. But I was like, you know what? Might as well go read on and get my butt up. Excuse me. It took me about 10 minutes to get my combobulation together to get up. I went to Jimmy Jones while I was out. If you know me, you know what I got. I don't deviate when I go to Jimmy Jones. I did say that I wanted to try, go through the whole menu and try them all. I ain't got no time for that shit. I went on here. I got my Big John, which is roast beef. Oh wow. Look like she dressed this one right. It's wet. So I got up this morning because they had a special passport day. What was taking me so long to get my passport was you have to make an appointment. I was like, and that's what happened. I finally was like, Mel, just go ahead on and do it. But every time I went to make an appointment, it was always filled up. So I went on the website because I was just going to, go ahead on, get the phone number, bite the bullet. But on the website, there was like special June passport day. I'm like, what? It said June the 7th. Now I looked at this on maybe the 4th or the 5th. I'm like, what? Wait, when is the 7th? I didn't know the date. I just knew it was in June. I was like, oh wait, that's Sunday. So I was like, I'm going to that shit. No ands, ifs, and buts. Now, it was from 9 to 12. Now, the last time I went to something like that at that building, it was for the IRS. And the line was wrapped around the building. Like, I got in the line on the opposite side of the entrance. When the line moved, we turned the corner twice before we got to the front. Well, today, when we got up there, the line wasn't even to the corner. I went, what? I said, I can take that. It ain't gonna take me too long to get up there to the front. Now, he picked me up at, he picked me up at 8:30-ish. But he had to go pick up somebody else. And like I told him, I said, but the time they telling me they dropping me off, you gonna drop them off too. I said, no worries, it's still early, you know. So I was like, okay. Because I want to say it wasn't even 9 o'clock when he picked them up. So I'm like, okay. We dropped them off. So I was like, okay, all right. So he brings me up there. And when I saw the line, I was like, fucking right. By the time he finished unloading me and stuff, and I go get in the line, the man was like, oh, we ain't taking no more people for today. Huh? Yeah. We done hit our limit. You know, we ain't doing no more. I was like, damn. I said, okay, I can take that. I said, so do I make an appointment? Y'all gonna make an appointment for me? What y'all gonna do? He said, hold on. He come back. He said, you know what? My boss said we gonna take you. I went, fucking right. I was like, just smiling my ass off then. So he took me, when he came back, he was like, come on. I went, come with you? Already? Yeah, come on. My boss told me to put you in the front. Well, really, his boss came down to me and she talked to me. And she was like, is that bus gonna wait here for you? Or you gonna have to call him back to come get you? I said, yeah, he's scheduled to come get me later on. She said, okay. And she walked off. The dude came back and he was like, come on. My boss told me to take you with me. I went, huh? So I'm skipping the line, y'all. I was like, fucking right. I like, they play too much. So I skips the line. He telling people, move out the way, move out the way, we coming through. Excuse me, y'all. And he brings me in the building. So, well, I take my passport picture. He said, you gotta, well, wait. While we was outside, we was talking. And he was like, I did a lot today. He was like, well, you got your application, you got this, you got that. I said, no, I don't have a passport picture. I want to make sure this the correct application before I fill it out. Because I got that application like, I think the application say 2023. But I printed it out earlier this year. When I went to the IRS place. I'm coming, y'all. Don't mind me. You know what? I'm gonna just deal. This'll do. So, he was like, you don't have your birth certificate. I said, damn, I knew I was forgetting something. Because I got up this morning. It was just meant for me because what happened was, excuse me, as I was packing to go to New Orleans, I ran across my money orders that I was using to pay for my passport. Because they say you need, you get a State Department, a money order, a check, and you pay the processing fee in cash or credit card. So I was like, okay. When I told him I had my birth certificate, he said, I'll be back again. Then when he came back, he was like, come on, my boss told me to take you with me. So he brings me in there, we go to the picture place, you know, so I could take my ID. She was like, $22. I was like, okay. I think they paid me on my picture. Like, I'm reminded that picture gonna be with me for 10 years. So I am glad that this morning I took the time to recomb my hair. Because the way I had my hair yesterday, I was just gonna take it down and let it be flowing. But I was like, no girl, just go ahead on and put them 2 plaits in there and get happy. So I take the picture. Well, while he walking me there, he see old boy, he say, see, when she finished with her picture, go ahead on and take her up there, upstairs. The boss, up there to the boss. Wait, no, first he had to take me to some other room. And I gave my, he brought me to the woman, he was like, this her. I was like, oh, okay. And the woman took what I had, she put a number and all that on it. And they said, she said the boss take her straight upstairs. So she finished here, you go ahead and take her upstairs. I was like, okay. So he went on ahead and he took me upstairs. Passed me off to the security guard. Hey, how you doing? Look up. You go straight on up through there. But when I got up through there, it was the line. And it snaked through. And I was about to go get in the line. He said, no, don't get in the line. Go straight on up. I went, oh, okay. So I was there about a minute, and your girl said next, and that woman went to go. She said, "No, not you. Come on, man." I was like, "Okay, all right, bitch." I said, "Well, give me a minute, cause I ain't finished filling out my application." Fuckery of it was I didn't have to. So she looked at my paperwork, she got my ID, and she gave me a number. They go over in the waiting area. They gonna get to you. When I got up there, they was on something like, I want to say something like 18. But when I got in line, they was on something like 815. 8215. And my number was A257. So I'm sitting there, I'm playing my little game, chilling. They telling people, move over. We ain't got no time and no room for no open seats. We trying to get this over with. I was like, I agree with y'all. I would too. So, it gets to be around 10:30. Now, I ain't been there a good hour now. And she come to me. And she was like, well, no, she sent one of her employees, say, my boss said, what's your number and what time your ride coming for you? So I pulled it up and I showed him. I said, it coming at 11:30. He said, all right, and he walked off. And here come his boss. She's just walking around. She's looking at the lines, she's looking at the numbers. Nothing. I'm over there. And, I'm playing my word game. But then I realized she was the boss. Because I done seen her 3 times already, okay? I don't know her name, but I still go thank her. So, number on something like 230 something. Well, really it was close to me, so it probably was 245, 247. So, it get to be like, maybe something like 10:45, something like that. And she come up to me, and she said, what's your number? I say, 257. She went, all right. And she watching the numbers, she watching the lines. I went, I'm like, I'm chill, we gonna do this? She was like, you right. So when the line wasn't moving fast enough, she got up and she went to talk to a woman that was walking the floor. And she went and sat back down. I went, wow. So I was like, okay. And the alphabets that they called were E, J, E, and G. The woman that she went to talk to, about a minute later, she showed up on my side, popped up on my side. She said, give me your number. Where is it? I was like, it's right here, look. She said, okay. She took it. And she gave me another one. I went, wow. I was like, thank you. She was like, ain't no problem. And she walked off. When I looked at the number and I looked up there, I was next. I was like, "What's your right?" So I went on up there. She said, "You don't have your birth certificate, right?" She said, "You're not planning on traveling just yet." And I said, "No, not just yet." She went, "Okay, that's good." She said, "Well, give me your application and all that stuff." She said, "I don't, just your application, your ID." So I gave it to her. Oh, these pickles are horrible. I don't know why I always get these pickles. They're not going to change. They're not good. Them and Pop Belly got shitty pickles. Yeah. Yeah. And so I gave all my shit. Yeah, how you gonna pick? I said, "Well, I got my money ordered." And the processing fee, I said, "You prefer a card or cash?" She said, "I prefer cash. I mean card." I said, "Okay, I can do card." So she worked through my paperwork and whatever, and she gave me a number. She said, "When you bring your birth certificate or send someone to do it," I was like, wow. Now that she said that, she might be right. I might do send somebody to do it. But I doubt it. Cause, hold on. So somewhere I wanted to go Monday. It's like around the corner from now. So I'm figuring I go up there, drop off my birth certificate and my copy, and then go where I wanted to go up there. And then go home. So I was like, all right. I give her my app. I give her the money and the money orders. Now, because we family, I'm gonna tell y'all. I had the money orders for my passport. I want to say since January, February. Because, no, I probably had it before that. Because I started getting my money together for my passport when Curtis told me he was gonna be going to Germany. No, Italy. I was like, yeah. I'm gonna do Italy. So then he came back and told me, no, they're gonna send me to Japan. And I'm like, I really don't give a fuck where they send you. I'm just ready to go. So, excuse me. I just was like, yeah. Matter of fact, if you watch my hauls, I don't know when it was, but it was the Walmart haul when I bought them little sauces, the sweet chili sauce, the mango habanero sauce, the honey mustard, that, when I bought that, them little bottles for $1. That's when I want to say that's when I got my last money order. I divided it in two. My first money order was for 80, and my next one was for 50. So I got that out the way. It was done by 11 o'clock. By the time I got outside, it was like 11:05. So alright, okay. That's cool. But then I was like, I have time to kill. So, I went to Jimmy Jones. Look, Jimmy Jones was already on my list. Because I knew I was going in the area to buy it. I could have went to Subway, got me a salad. But I was like, So, after I did that, and I came back, excuse me, my ride was, I'm gonna say he was running late for one, but for two, I'm gonna say he picked me up about 11:30, 11:40, and then I looked on there. He was the one who was picking me up from my next stop, because I was on my way to my next stop. Excuse me. And my next stop was on my way to vote. So he picked me up, and then I looked at my thing, and it said he was gonna pick me up from over there too. So I was like, okay, he must gonna wait on me. So we goes ahead. He picked up the old man. No, it wasn't an old man. It was a woman coming from Walmart, but she had went to Wendy's first. We picked her up at Wendy's. We brought her home. Then he was like, okay, I guess you're right. I am your ride home. They telling me to wait on you. I was like, duh, because they know if I'm going now, I'm going to vote. And then no vote don't take that long. So he picks up the woman from by Walmart. He like, I gotta bring her home. I was like, I told you before. Don't matter. This is lagniappe to me right here. So he picked her up, he brought her home. He brought me the vote. Well, in between that, he got him some lunch. And I'm like, okay, go ahead. No rush, no worries, you know. And so I go vote. Them people is getting used to seeing me there, because when I got up in there, she said, oh, you're by yourself today, huh? I was like, yes, ma'am. She was like, well, tell your friend I said he. I was like, I will. We only had to vote for one thing. It was a runoff election for city council in our area. So I went on ahead, I voted, I got my little sticker. And they got a new park. Oh, well, it's too late now. And it was like, oh, you gonna go to the celebration? And I'm like, I don't know, because it's almost 1-9 in there too, and my expertise when shit in there too, they start shutting down at 1, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I don't think so. So I wanted to bring Lonzo, but I was like, So now I'm home, now I'm finished eating. My next step is to find my birth certificate. I'm not really gonna say find it. I know I got it. I'm just not sure where it's at. So after I do that, depending on what time it is, I'm gonna go to Office Max and get them to copy it. Yeah, I know I was supposed to work on the printer. I ain't got time for that shit. I'm saying I'm gonna go to Office Max, but if I don't go to Office Max, I'm gonna have my cousin do it, and I'm gonna bring that up there on Monday. I have a few things to do today, so my son, when I came in the door, he was like, oh, you're going to take a nap, ain't you? Because we all in here just chilling and sleeping and whatever. I was like, no. I got too much to do today. Good thing I don't have nothing to do tomorrow, though, so I can sleep in if I choose to. Yeah, but other than that, I had my son take some ribs out. I might go ahead on and get on that grill later on. But other than that, yeah, I don't have much to do. Cause after he picked me up, so say, from voting, we went to go pick up this old dude who lived by my daughter. And he said his birthday was next week, but him and his family was celebrating it today. And they was going to Spring Creek Barbecue. Then I had to ask him, I said, Spring Creek Barbecue, ain't it good? He was like, it's all right. And the only other place in Dallas that I really can, get a comparison with is Coulter's. And he said they're pretty similar. I know a lot of people, us people. I was like, huh? But anyways, he said, we like our seasoning, but they don't really season too much over there. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So then I gets to talking to the bus driver. So that starts the barbecue conversation. I was like, nah, I find if your grill seasoned enough and you know what you're doing, all you really need is some pepper on that meat. This motherfucker, oh no, you got to season that. You need to let me cook some ribs for you. And I'm like, I'm pretty accomplished in my own right. Thank you, dude. He was like, no, you got to do this and you got to do that. And I said, I used to do all that shit. But one day I just threw a piece of lanyard meat on the grill and ain't do shit to it. And that was one of the best pieces of meat on that fucking grill. And he was like, nah, you got to heavily season that. And I like, you know what? You do your barbecue how you want to do your barbecue. I know what works for me. Yeah, but when you don't do that, you got to you use all that sauce. I said, I don't put sauce on my barbecue. Sauce is an elective when I barbecue. Don't give me the side eye like I don't know how to barbecue and shit. I think that was him dry begging to get him an invitation. No thank you. Because every time he come here, oh, my daddy's friend used to live in that house, and my daddy used to live across the street over here. Every time. They done tore his daddy house down now. So, but yeah, I grew up in Oak Cliff. Okay, sir. So, yeah, pretty much that was my deal so far. I went, applied for my passport, and I went voted. I'm gonna put this dress together and see how I feel after I do that, because like I said, I need to go to Office Max, you know, to get that paper copy and shit. Shit, I need to call them. I ain't never really seen no printing over there. So that's pretty much it, y'all. Thanks for watching. Y'all be blessed. Y'all stay safe. You have fun with your family and friends, but responsibly. And until next time, y'all, peace, love, and light. Y'all have a good day. Later.